And this, you can do this on any type of surface, any type of fabrics, and also some other surfaces. But I'm going to show you on Lutrador because that's another one of the beauties of how it works and how Lutrador works. They go well together.
They do.
Okay, so I've got some Lutrador. I'm using white, but you could do it on a tinted one. And I put a protective fabric underneath just in case any of the inks go through when I iron it. Put it face down. It's an image I printed on the inkjet printer, and I've trimmed it down to size. Hot iron, as hot as it'll go, your highest setting. And then once it gets hot, the polymer on the paper is going to make it stick to the Lutrador or any other fabric, so you don't have to worry about it shifting.
Oh, okay.
And then you just iron it continuously, moving your iron over the surface. Usually takes a few seconds, but you want to make sure that the transfer is complete and all the polymer comes off the paper so that it's washable. Not that you're going to wash the Lutrador, but you might want to wash a t-shirt that you put this on.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to peel a corner back and see how it is. Oh, see, it peels easily. When it peels easily, you know it's done.
So just to be clear, you printed your photograph onto the tap paper first.
Right.
And then and that's just from a regular printer.
Right. An inkjet
printer.
Yes.
And then it transfers.
Right.
That is really neat.
So one of the beauties of Lutrador is that you don't always have to just have straight edges. One thing I didn't mention is you can't tear Lutrador. It won't rip.
Oh.
I'm pushing and pulling really hard.
Isn't that interesting?
So you can't tear it by hands. You can't get like a raveled edge or anything exciting. But what you can do is take the Walnut Hollow Creative Textile tool. And it's right in the word there, be creative, in the title. So a hot tool will just burn through this like a hot knife through butter.
That is so neat.
You can also work, I like to work in the air sometimes, but if you have a cookie sheet, you can flip that over and work on it like that, or on one of the Teflon sheets too.
Perfect.
Anything
so you could
heat resistant.
Cut it intricate designs.
As intricate
and
as you
it's pretty
want.
quick. Now you said something about the below hot. What is that thing?
Okay, this is a heat gun.
Okay.
It was primarily designed for embossing, the embossing powders that the rubber stampers use. Okay. It's a concentrated form of heat. It's like a hairdryer. But a hairdryer is not going to get that hot because then we'd all be walking around with charred hair.
I'm thinking we better not use this on our hair.
No, definitely not. It's not for that
Bald
kind
and
of,
burned.
Yeah. So it's and also you don't want to use the heat gun that your husband or guy might have in his garage because that's even hotter and for peeling paint off the walls.
Oh, okay.
Don't get that one either because then you'll have nothing left. Okay?
Oh, okay. So this is made for crafters.
Yes, it's made for crafters and it's at the crafts store.
Okay.
In usually the rubber stamp department. Okay. Now it's noisy.
Okay. So tell me what you're going to do before you turn it on.
Okay. When I turn it on, I'm going to let it get hot. Immediately it's not real hot, but you let it get hot for a few seconds and then you hold it right where you want to lace or create texture. It's going to make holes and it's going to create texture.
Okay.
And if it's too close, it'll just go like shh and melt away, like Tyvek does.
Yeah.
People use Tyvek. So that's why you want it to be hot before you start so that you're not just sitting there, waiting and then all of a sudden it disappears because it got real hot.
Okay, so now I noticed that your hand over here is holding it up in the air. Are you worried about that bumping over your hand at all? No.
No. Depends on the techniques you're using. Sometimes you can use forceps or spaghetti tongs if you're doing a lot of it or there's other people around. But it's not going to hit my hand here. I'm not going to hold it here like this.
Right, okay.
So I'm going to be away from the heat and then direct it there and get some texture down here at the bottom of the piece.
All right, let's see a little bit.
Okay. I get it away, and especially if you're working in a classroom or something, you got to make sure that
nobody's over there
pointing it at anybody else.
Whoops, sorry.
But you do want to heat it up so that it's nice and hot.
So would you say 30, 40 seconds?
Not even that long, about 20 seconds. Now, distance is important. If you're going to go right on it, there it goes.
Disappear. Right.
So if you want to just gently do it here and there, you use an in and out motion.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Oh, I see. So it's lacing.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Excellent.
Okay. All right.
So all this is in your book.
All of that is in the book. And more.
And more.
Yes,
And,
lots more.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now let me throw you a little curveball.
Okay.
I love to throw curveballs.
I should have known. I watched your video.
So,
Okay.
so Lesley's had time to think of it. I wish I could think of a different question, but I really would like to know what your philosophy of life is.
Well, I am not that original because it's always been just do it.
I love
famous
that.
Nike, you know.
Yeah.
Don't overthink anything. Don't worry about how it's going to turn out. Don't wait until you think you know everything you need to know before you do it. Just do
I
it.
agree. Thank you so much
You're
for
so
doing this. I
welcome.
think they're going to love it.
This is fun.
And thank you all for coming. I hope you'll come back next month and see what I have for you then. Thanks for being with me.